The investigation into Hillary Clinton's secret server takes a sinister turn now as we learn it was reportedly hacked by at least 5 foreign intel agencies, giving them access to the United States and all of our secrets and then putting American lives at risk.
Here for reaction is the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, Republican Congressman down in Texas, Michael McCaul. Good morning to you, Chairman.
Morning, Steve.
Okay, so Brett Baer's got a couple of sources inside the FBI that says with 99% accuracy, Hillary Clinton and the Clinton server was hacked by at least 5 foreign agencies and the information was taken from it. Doesn't that, if she's elected President of the United States, doesn't that really open up President Clinton to blackmail by these 5 countries?
Absolutely it does. I mean, the concern I've had all along is she has had 7 special access programs on these devices. Those are the most classified, sensitive secrets in the federal government, many of them covert operations. She took those devices overseas against the State Department's wishes, and now we find out, as James Comey told me previously, that it's very likely that foreign adversary nations got into her private server. This is why you have security protocols, to protect classified information. She exposed it to our enemies, and now, Steve, our adversaries have this very sensitive information that not only jeopardizes her and national security at home, but the men and women serving overseas. This is, in my opinion, quite frankly, it's treason.
Chairman, on top of that, we understand the president was communicating to that server using an alias, although he didn't tell the truth to 60 Minutes Steve Croft and others when asked when he found out about the private server. What are the implications of the president communicating with the Secretary of State on an unsecure server now that we know this hacked 5 times?
Well, now the American people know why this was such a big deal. It should be in a protected environment. It wasn't. It was created to get around the Freedom of Information Act because she didn't want to be transparent to the American people. Now it's vulnerable to a cyber attack. Looks like it was. And now countries like Russia and China and Iran have the most highly sensitive programs in the United States. And the President of the United States is communicating with her under a pseudonym. They're not stupid. They can figure that out as well. This is a huge story. It's far bigger than the accusations against Donald Trump. This goes to the heart of fitness of character to serve as commander-in-chief.
What about the president? The president's supposed to stay on the sidelines here, but then we're also learning from FBI sources that Valerie Jarrett, his chief advisor, is now asking for James Comey to be fired. And then you have the president saying, come on, he was campaigning for her, saying it was an honest mistake.
I mean, I don't think Valerie Jarrett has any credibility here. Jim Comey, I've known him for 20 years. He always does what he thinks is the right thing to do. He's made Republicans upset, but he's made a lot of Democrats upset. Yeah. One thing I know about Jim is that he will always do the right thing in his mind. I think he believed, and I think rightly so, that he had new evidence and he had an obligation to the Congress to turn that evidence over and let the Congress know and the American people before this critical decision that this case was not over. As Hillary Clinton said, I'm cleared, it's all over. Yeah. Jim Comey is the hero here coming in saying that's not the case.
Did you feel that way in July?
This investigation is still going.
Did you feel that way in July?
You know, the only criticism I had of Jim in July was that he should have said, to say no reasonable prosecutor would take the case was not the role of the FBI. That's the role of the prosecutor at Justice. And I was one of those for many years. That was the only criticism I had. He pretty much indicts her all the way up to not indicting her.
All right, Chairman, thank you for joining us this morning.
No, thanks for having me.
Yeah.